Okay, this is my first official full post. I'm really excited. My first video, I gave a brief review of the book, When God Writes Your Love Story, and I strongly recommend that. It really opened my eyes to respect to relationships and whatnot. So it's been about a month since my breakup, and so I've learned a lot of things since then. First thing I learned was that you don't settle. I realized that, you don't give so much of yourself too quickly, and I realized I did just that, like give him my heart, and I was falling in love with this dude, and just don't do that at all, because it really hurts you in the end. That's one thing. I was talking to my sister over the break, and I was like, guys don't want to take us out anywhere. What is wrong with this picture? And, right now I feel like our generation's more on Facebook and Twitter and not really dating like old school, like you date and then you ask to be boyfriend, girlfriend instead of like date. We're boyfriend, girlfriend now, so it's really weird. So we're gonna go on like an actual date when we asked out on a real date. So instead of just, okay, we're on Facebook, we're cool, be my girlfriend, you're awesome, be my girlfriend, instead of just actually taking steps to date. So that's another thing. Like, I haven't been on a date. I also learned that hating people takes a lot of your time, and it's okay to grieve, but you shouldn't have to grieve over a relationship. It's like a divorce, and they talk about that in the book. Like, you don't want relationships to be like a divorce. It's a terrible feeling. You just cry. I know I did. I cried for at least 3 days. And so now that he's moved on, I'm trying to like still pine for him, I guess. Still like, oh, I still have these feelings for him, and it's not gonna work out. You don't want that. So they tell you that in all those magazines about relationships, not to talk to them for 60 days. That's a really good suggestion. Don't talk to them for like 60 days. That's at least 2 months after you break up, because you do start rehashing your feelings, and you'll just be taken over by the feelings that you had for that person. So that's a good idea. For me, I'm okay, and it hasn't been exactly 60 days, but I'm not, oh my god, he's gonna break up with, what's he doing? Is he with a new girl? Whatever. I mean, we still talk, so it's possible, but if you broke up and it was really painful for you, I do suggest you follow that dating article about when you break up, because that's really important for you to heal and whatnot. So that's another thing that I've learned. I also learned that this semester is going to be really busy. So, they also mention like make yourself busy, be active. So I'm going to be really, really busy, not in any pursuit of new boyfriend at this time, because I'm a junior in college, and so I'm getting into my upper level classes this semester, so I'll be really, really busy. So that would be another thing to help take my mind off of things. Relationships are really tricky. If you're in a long distance relationship, make sure both of you are committed 100%. It's hard work being in a long distance relationship, and it's one sided. You know, like my parents been together for a real long time, both in the military. So my dad will be overseas for a long while, but thing is that they're married. So long distance relationships right now probably aren't the best idea unless you two both see marriage in your possible future. Even though they say absence makes the heart grow fonder, it's just really hard right now as for in your early 20s, being in a long distance relationship. But it can work if the two people are committed 100% in a relationship, and that there's boundaries and rules set when you are in that relationship. Also, it's important that you talk all the time. What I realize is that I keep things to myself, and I may have an intuition. I don't really follow up on it. So always talk. Like however you're feeling, just talk. Talk and trust are really communication, I should say, and trust are really, really important. In regards to sex, talk about that too. Where you stand about sex, whether you are waiting to get married to have sex or you should be dating for this amount of time. Talk about it, because it may come up. You don't just want it to be like not knowing what your plans are. So always have a plan in that regard. For me right now, I'm abstaining from that. Only because I feel better about it. Because before, the mindset was raised, wait before you're married. It's way more special when you're married, and that is true. So you don't want to give it up because he's pressuring too. Because if he's pressuring you, especially ladies or girls or guys, the ladies pressuring you, they're not the right person for you. So it's when you're ready. So that's another important thing. When you're ready to make that leap, make sure you talk to somebody about it. I didn't, but I read a lot of things and also try to learn as much about it as I can, like STDs, STIs, HIV, HPV. Look up all that stuff, because in the end you don't want to contract some disease or an infection that you'll have the rest of your life. So definitely look that up. Definitely talk to somebody about that, and what they think about it. I mean, in the end, it's still your decision, but it's helpful to get someone who's experienced, I feel, in my opinion, on that area, especially if you are thinking about taking that leap. Both of you should both sit down and talk to each other about it as well. Yeah, love is hard. It's a complicated thing. So you just have to believe in it. Also, after you break up, you don't want to swear off of love, because that's not true. Like, oh, I'm never gonna fall in love again. That's not true. You're in a time of vulnerability and hurt and anger and pain. So of course you're gonna say those things, but don't just swear it off, because there is someone out there for you. So don't feel like there isn't just because this one person broke your heart. There's a saying like you have to kiss a whole bunch of frogs to get to the prince, or in lady's case, or the princess, in the male's case. So definitely just be open. Now that you went through this heartbreak, you know what you don't want in a relationship. And when you enter a new relationship after your first serious breakup, Make sure you tell the guy or girl, I was hurt really bad before by this person and they did A, B, and C, and I don't want that in this relationship. So it's always good to talk about it. I also believe that, okay, if you're a virgin, that is awesome. Tell them that. Stand firm in that because that's so precious. And so there are not many people my age are virgins. And, just stand by that. If that's what you truly feel, definitely stand by that. Or if you're celibate right now, definitely stand by that because that's rare. Because you are worth waiting for. Whether you're a guy or a girl, you're worth waiting for. And if you're looking for someone and that's all they have to offer you is sex, then they're really not good for you at all. So definitely stand firm by that, and don't let other people pressure you into doing that, or other views of stand by that. Your abstinence or your celibacy, definitely stand by that. For me, I'm standing by that because the next time I have sex is gonna be with my husband, and that's way special. So definitely stand by that. And if you're thinking about it, like I said before, just research it. Really think hard about it because that's, even though guys are like, oh, I don't have feelings for her or whatever, sex is emotional. So that's very deep. And your feelings get all intertwined in that, and so you'll be heartbroken if you decide to have sex before you are ready, or if you decide to have sex because that's how I have to keep this person. You don't have to do that at all. So just think about that. Other than that, I'm still learning a lot about relationships, so it's just easing my way back into singleness. So it's a journey right now. So I'll keep you guys posted. But thanks for listening.